Raptors. It was an 18.5 spread. And, it definitely could have been a lot worse. And they definitely competed today. And as much as they lost by 12, there are a positive takeaway from the first game of this, we'll call it brand new era for the Raptors. So let's talk it over in tonight's post-game show. Right? So obviously, Brandon Ingram, he's still injured. He will be injured for a number of weeks. Possibly the Raptors maybe not shutting him down. But Brandon Ingram's with the team on the bench. That was great to see. Every indication has been that Brandon Ingram has is enjoying it here so far. He's with the team today on the bench. He's talked about in the past about liking playing in the city of Toronto. He's waived his trade kicker to help out the Raptors. I'll just repeat it for the post-game show here. Brandon Ingram is re-signing with the Raptors. Okay? End of story. So don't worry about it. Don't comment about it. Don't tweet about it. Don't question it. Brandon Ingram is re-signing with the Raptors. Period. Now the money, how much that'll cost, that's a conversation. Brandon Ingram re-signing with the Raptors. Anyways, let's get in on this game here. Raptors lose 121-109 to the Thunder. Tough team to play against, especially with Jakob Poeltl out for this one. The Raptors dropped to 0-7 on the season when Jakob Poeltl does not play. Last season, I bring it up a lot. Famously, the Raptors were, famously to me at least, the Raptors were 4-28 last season when Jakob Poeltl did not play. He is a big deal. If he plays, I'm sure the game doesn't really go any different here. It was Chet Holmgren's return for the Thunder. And I'll be honest, you look at the rosters here. The Raptors started today, Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji, Manu Cookie, Shy Barnes, Jonathan Mobo. Not a formidable force of a starting five by any stretch of the imagination. It's a team overall that even you look at the bench, it's lacking a bit of shooting. It's definitely lacking defense. And defense is something that the Thunder do not lack. And especially don't lack with Chet Holmgren returning. I really did not know how the Raptors were going to score today. But they still scored 109 points in OKC. I am fine with that. And a big reason why is going 19 of 41 from three. That's great. They shot the three ball really well. And they had to because they went 43% from the field overall. That includes the threes. We take out the threes. The Raptors went 20 of 40. 20 of 50. 20 of 50 on twos today. 20 of 50. 40% on twos. That's really bad. And yeah, the Thunder are super switchable. They have bigs who can lock down the paint. And they did that. Thankfully, we had the shooting going for us today. On the other end of the court, Shai only had to play 29 minutes and cooked. He had 25 points. 5 of 12, 14 of 14 from the line. There wasn't really anybody who could stop him. Not really a guy who can defend him. Chet goes plus 22, 4 blocks. Had a big time block on Scotty Barnes later in the game. It's just the better team that won. Isaiah Joe went 4 of 5 from 3, got super hot. It felt like the Thunder never really had to get out of second gear for this game. J-Dub gets 27 in 33 minutes. Yeah. Thunder are really good. From our perspective here, a subdued game from Manuel quickly point-wise, but at least 10 assists is nice to see. Barnes really struggled inside the three-point arc, and an uptick shooting performance from him kind of saves his stat line. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Man, he's actually flirting with a 5x5, looking at the stats. 8 of 20 from the field isn't too nice, especially knowing that he went 4 of 14 on twos today. I'll say it again here, like I said it earlier in the stream here, but I'll say it for the post-game show as well. With Brandon Ingram coming in, you got to do a lot more work to get Barnes away from the mid-range shot. A couple of game is fine, but taking 3, 4, 5 mid-range attempts per game, that's just going to have to stop. You have to work on getting him to the rim more, because if there's a guy that's going to self-create and shoot in mid-range, that guy has got to be Brandon Ingram long-term. start building these habits today. Like work on getting Barnes to the rim more often. Barnes gets to the rim for less than 20% of his field goal attempts, and that's including transition spots. So when he's not playing in transition, that number is less than 18, a lot less than 18. If we're in like half court, far less than 18% of his shots are at the rim. That's got to change. He's got to get to the rim more efficiently and more often, in my opinion. Great player. That's just the progression for his game. Fantastic player who I'm very happy to build with. That is the next progression for his game, though. Nice to see Mobo back with the Raptors. Solid stat line for him. Solid performance overall. I mean, even though we lost by quite a bit, only a -5 for Barnes, too. Something to note as well. Shed doesn't follow up his recent strong performances. Jacoby Walter does. A strong game from Jacoby Walter, which is nice to see. And a good game from Jamison Battle, fresh off of a 3-year contract signing with the Raptors. Chris Boucher survives another trade deadline. Solid night here. Like, I thought it would be worse than this. I thought the Thunder would win by 20 or so. End up winning by 12. Raptors win the offensive rebound battle, 14-11, despite being undersized compared to the Thunder. Only commit 12 turnovers, same amount of the Thunder. That could have been worse against a good Thunder team. It's just they couldn't get to the rim and score. Like, it's just really hard to score against the Thunder, and I think it's perfectly acceptable to play like this and lose by 12 to a team that is this good. So for me, I'm very comfortable and quite pleased overall with the compete here and the fight from this team. There's no complaints from my end. Brandon Ingram's going to be out for a while. There's a still, just because you trade for Ingram doesn't mean you're not tanking. So, yeah, there's still a chance for the Raptors to go in that direction. Bobby Webster was talking about it, the draft, at his press conference post-trade deadline, saying that, we can still get ourselves a good draft pick, and he instructed y'all to pray to the lottery gods. He said, pray to the lottery gods. So we're praying to the lottery gods, and maybe the run of games coming up will help us do that. Up next, away at Houston. They've been losing games lately. That's still a tough game. Away at Philly on Tuesday. Joel Embiid's back. That's not an easy game. Won't be favored in either of those. Going to be underdogs, both those. Home at Cleveland. Going to be a big underdog there. Friday, home versus Miami. Probably underdog, but not much. Home versus Phoenix. Probably underdog, not much. Home versus Boston, big underdog. Away at Indiana, big underdog. Away at Chicago, probably pretty even. Anyways, it's a tough schedule coming up. The tank is not done. The tank could still be on. But this is a positive performance, I think. It was fine. Team rolled up into a very difficult spot and competed for 48 minutes. I think we should be fine with that. I think we should be comfortable where the Raptors are at and see where the rest of the season takes us. That's it. It's Friday night. I'm feeling good. Hope you're feeling good as well. If you feel good about the content, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we'll be back on Sunday. It'll be Super Bowl Sunday, but there's still a Raptors game, and it'll still be here.